And welcome to Jrock's Babylon. I am your host, Jason J. Rock Houston, and our guest for today is Paul Lidel from the band Scream Therapy. And then welcome to the show, Paul.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and last time I interviewed you on this metal show with my co-host Tom Collier, and we were talking about the debut album right here. Great killer album. Anybody hasn't checked that out? Now you're coming here today to talk about you have a new album coming out. I believe it's called Are You Ready on Paris Records, and I believe a release date is October 17th.
That's correct. Yeah, we're excited.
And so yes, so are we. And you know what I dig in today's modern age of the music business. I mean, you guys got this new album like within like just a year after the first one came out. I mean, pretty fast.
Yeah, the writing process is going real smooth. So yeah, we're real excited about the songs and the energy and everything on of the new album.
And so, would you say if people are a fan of a debut album, they're going to like this too? Do you say it's kind of a progression, or is there a growth in the sound? How would you describe it?
I would say that this one is like the other one, but amped up.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, I mean, probably like a lot of times when you're releasing your debut album, you're in the process of trying to kind of find your sound. But I do think on the debut album, you definitely found that sound, Paul, because I mean, it's you front and center. Let's be honest, Paul Lidel from Dangerous Toys and excuse me, the other band, Dirty Looks. And so that's a great question to start. So when you were writing these songs, did you know right away that, okay, these don't really sound like, Dirty Looks or Dangerous Toys?
oh yeah, because certain songs that I am writing with my voice in mind.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, that brings on a different aspect. So yeah, it's not difficult to separate writing, and it's not like, oh, I got the song, now who should do it. It's usually pretty clear.
Yeah, and so do you like being the front man? I mean, I know you've done it for a number of years, but like for example with Dangerous Toys, where a lot of people first came to know you, you're a guitar player, and Jason's the front man, and so it is kind of a different thing, if you will.
Yeah, it's something I absolutely love. I've been doing it for a long time, and in a variety of different bands, and
Sure.
I absolutely love to do.
And I think the great thing with both Dirty Looks and Scream Therapy is you get to do your frontman thing, and I'm sure a lot of times being that these are your songs, you have a better idea of how they should how you hear them a certain way in your head, Paul, as opposed if you were writing them with another vocalist in mind.
Yeah. It all seems pretty clear in my mind how it's ultimately supposed to sound.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate that I have a real good engineer that helps me to get it to sound that way. So like, it's great when I hear the album back and I'm like, yeah, that's what I heard.
And that's the great thing about being signed to a label like Paris Records. Tom Mathers, I followed him for years. He's a great guy. He's great at what he does. There's another case of a guy that is a musician himself, but actually is, he made the bulk of his money, not so much doing his own musical thing like when he was in Cherry Street, but very much, signing other bands to Paris Records. And I think he's great at what he does.
Oh yeah, definitely. And he's had Paris Records for a long, long time.
Yeah, and I mean, they recently celebrated, I think, 30th anniversary last year. That's a pretty big deal, and it's not your typical record company either, because he told me that, he's kind of not so much, I guess, kind of semi-retirement. He's like, we typically release maybe 1 to 3 albums a year, on Paris Records. That's pretty cool thing, that this is what they're putting out this year,
Yeah, he's real excited, as am I, about the new record. So that makes it great. And we talk all the time and pump each other up.
Yeah. And the first single, of course, is We Got Rock and Roll. I mean, I love the title. Before I even heard the song, I got to tell you, it's kind of like when you hear rock and roll all night and party every day, it's like, okay, this is going to be a great rock anthem. I know that right off the bat. Before I tell you, that's a great lead-off single, I think, to give really people, give them a taste of what Scream Therapy is all about.
Well, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, that song, it's just a fun one. And when we play it live, like everybody singing the chorus with their fist in the air, and it's cool. And it's like it's about the experience of going to a concert, and you know how like you have this same thing in common with everybody else there, and you know, especially a hard rock concert. Whereas, you know, that might not be like the current trend of,
Yeah.
you know, or whatever, but everybody there likes that same thing. So it's great to be in a place where you have something in common with everybody there. And so I was just thinking about that, how people, you know, of all walks of life are all together, and they're all rocking out. And I'm like, yeah, that needs to be a song.
And so I love the look. You know, is that your home studio where you're coming from today, Paul?
Yeah, this is.
And so is that where you record everything, pretty much?
Where everything is recorded, this is where I spend a lot of my time.
And so you know, I'm not a musician myself, so I always kind of curious and like to ask guys that are like when you're recording the songs, like. Does it really kind of, do you have let's say, in your case, like a specific guitar you're going to use on a particular song, or is it just a matter of kind of playing around and see which guitar fits which song best?
Me and the engineer is Matt Bray, by the way, who is 611 Studios, 611. Room 611 Productions. Anyway, so I recorded the same riff with all my different guitars, and we listened to it in his studio, and he picked out his favorite ones, mm-hmm. And so the three that he picked out, two of them were built by Scott Dalhoover from Dangerous Toys.
Oh, wow.
Who builds amazing guitars, by the way.
Okay.
Under the name Dalhoover and Ghost Machine guitars. Yeah, those have been like my mainstays for years. And then he also picked out the Flying V that I used on the Cool from the Wire first Dirty Looks record back in 88.
Wow. Can you believe it's been that long? Yeah, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, you've got all three bands that you're definitely still very much part of. Are you surprised that there's a demand for all three bands?
Yeah, it's awesome, and it seems to kind of be building, you know. It's more and more people are getting into that kind of music, which is awesome.
Yeah, you know, and it's kind of interesting because like I'm a fan of all those bands, and you know, like I'd say, you know, like Dangerous Toys is one of those bands, you know, and Dirty Looks I would put in there too. That people probably know the name. I'd say, don't take this the wrong way, because I mean no offense, but like those bands kind of like you've got your fan base, you got your followers, but probably all these bands that we're talking about that you're involved with, Paul, should have been much bigger, if you know what I mean. Yet you still have your loyal fan base. Yeah.
I appreciate that, but I always thought, well, we did good, you know?
Yeah, you did good. I mean, the fact you're still around, you know, doing shows, that's kind of my point, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, Dangerous Toys, same people from the beginning. You know, I'm the new guy 31 years later now.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. But yeah, and you guys are all based in Texas, right?
You know?
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's pretty. Now, are there any plans? Because I do know in regards to Dangerous Toys, you guys are constantly, you know, doing shows, you know, a couple times a year. But has there been any thought to maybe doing some new music?
Yeah. There will be a new album out of a new studio album out in 2026.
Wow. So there you go. I mean, that answers that, huh? And
yeah, that will happen. And also there will be an album of sort of rarities and, you know, stuff like that, just like the for fans only kind of thing, and that will be out as well. I don't know when the release dates of these things will be,
Oh
but
wow.
Dangerous Toys was actually real active last year. We spent a lot of time on airplanes, so we would, fly.
Hmm.
Uh,
That's
and
good. And Dirty Looks, anything going on with you guys besides live shows?
no, the live shows have sort of that has sort of ended, but me and Jason and Jack, just for fun, we get together and write songs.
Oh wow. So, maybe there'll be something, more coming down the line. We hope for that. But in regards to scream therapy, since that's what we're really supposed to be talking about, um, now you're gonna have two albums worth of material for when you guys do go play live. And have you given any thought to like how often the band's going to be out there doing these live shows and to promote the new CD?
Yeah, yeah, as often as possible. We love playing live. Our next show is coming up. Well, we have one tomorrow, but then we have another show coming up opening for Warrant at the Hotspot Event Center, and that's in Cedar Park, Texas, and that's going to be just crazy.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, I bet. Have you ever played any of the cruises?
Lots of times.
Okay,
Lots.
okay. And I guess that must be pretty fun, huh, to do.
Oh, they're a blast. We've done, I want to say seven or so with Dangerous Toys, and then Dirty Looks did one.
Wow, wow. Next, who knows? Maybe Scream Therapy. That would be fun because again, you guys have now two albums worth of material, and when you do play out live with the band, Paul, that's got to be a pretty tough thing. Two albums worth of material. Maybe it's not a ton, but now you have some stuff to work with and add and take out of a set list, I would imagine.
If I can interject, our new set is half of the first album and half of the second album.
Oh, 50-50. I like it. Yeah, that's a little something for everybody.
Half
And
of it's
yeah, let me ask, when you recorded these new songs, was everybody in your studio there recording together, or does everybody record their parts separately?
No, everybody records their parts separately.
Done. Yeah.
That's the way most albums that I've done have been. Um, but I have, yeah. It's cool. It's cool when you're all jamming in the same room.
Yeah, yeah.
Most of the time, you know, it's the drums first, and then the guitar or the bass, and then you put everything else on top of that.
Yeah, and so it's interesting, Paul, because like you said, that's kind of the modern way of doing it. We grew up maybe in a different time and era. I mean, the band even puts out like an album of new material, which hey, thanks for bands like Scream Therapy doing that. I mean, I still love holding that physical CD in my hand and looking, seeing who played on it, and who wrote the songs. Kids today, a lot of times you're talking, what's a record store? They don't even know.
Right. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool that you can put out your own product. So do you want to let people know too where they can find you online?
Yeah, the website is screamtherapyband.com.
Okay. And you're on Facebook and all that?
Yep, Facebook, Instagram. You can find us, YouTube page, and there's links to all that on screamtherapyband.com.
Okay, that's great to know. And again, that people can get the new album drops, you said, on the 17th. Is that correct, of October?
October 17th, and there will be a link on screamtherapyband.com, and they can also go to parisrecords.com.
Okay, and Paul, that's just in time for Halloween and the holiday season. If anybody wants to get somebody with new Scream Therapy CD, for Christmas or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah, put in their stocking. That'd be. Could you imagine waking up to that Christmas morning? That'd be some rockin' tunes right there.
I agree.
Yeah. And you mentioned, Paul, that you guys also are gonna in the next couple of weeks have another single out. You want to talk at all about that?
Yeah. This song is the title track off the album. This is it's called "Are You Ready?"
Are you ready?
So we'll have a single that drops October 1st, and video dropped the same day.
And another song that I really love off the debut album was one of the singles, "Rabbit Hole." I was curious, could you share with us what that was about?
Yeah, Rabbit Hole is kind of the reflects, well, the music was written first, and the music was like real sort of tense,
Mm.
and there's a certain amount of anxiety, I thought, in the riff, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It was written in a weird mode, musical mode.
Sure.
So to me, that the vibe of it represented the anxiety that I have about computers and social media, and which I'm getting over, but and how it's all built to hold your attention, and like I'll open up my phone with the intent of doing one thing, and 15-20 minutes later I'm like, what was I even doing?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I remember for years having a little flip phone. You remember what that is? And you could do hardly nothing but just talk on the phone pretty much. And for years I thought, I don't need one of these modern phones. But you know what? I eventually gave in for the simple fact, technology being what it is. Like even just to get instructions on the GPS, the internet kept going down. Like, okay, I need a more modern phone and stuff. And I'm glad I invested in it. But you're right, because we're so distracted with it. But I can't tell you how many times I'm checking my email or going on YouTube and watching a video or something. But it's kind of part of our everyday life, Paul, like it or not.
You get on there and with the intent of doing one thing,
Yeah.
and it's built for all these
Different things. Yeah, it's just in the palm of your hand. And it's amazing, because I don't know if you're aware of this, Paul, but you being a musician and all, and in all these bands, a lot of bands now make money on creating like ringtones, or using clips of your songs as people will download the ringtone.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah. So it's glad to hear you're kind of embracing the technology, because even in promoting your band, I got to tell you, before COVID, I knew nothing about Zoom. I had to do it for work, and believe me, when I was first learning how to do it, it was a pain in the what.
Yeah.
I got really frustrated, but I had to learn it, and then it eventually got to a point where maybe I could interview people over Zoom. I took the time to learn how to do it, and I'm glad I did now, because otherwise we wouldn't be doing this today.
Yeah, I think face-to-face interviews are a lot better than just the phoners.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because it really is. Even when we post this and people are going to look at the interview, it gives people a totally different experience. I mean, even me doing it as the interviewer, it's like you said, oh, it's fun. Okay, not only talking to Paul over the phone, but hey, talking to him face to face, I can see where he's at. It's pretty cool.
It's like we're hanging out.
Yeah, and it's like he's in Texas, I'm in beautiful Long Beach, California. So not even like down the street. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And so, final question for today, Paul. Obviously, a lot of what I hear in your music is kind of AC/DC influence. There's other stuff, but as far as guitar players that influenced you to do what you're doing, who were your heroes growing up?
Early on, probably like Michael Schenker.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Definitely.
I was into Ted Nugent early on.
No, I love Cat Scratch Fever and all that stuff. Yeah.
Aerosmith is like my favorite band since I was a little kid, and I still listen to those albums all the time. So all of that kind of stuff, and then you have Richie Blackmore.
And there you're talking. That's one of my guys. Yeah, Blackmore. He's like
all that.
Yeah.
Big influence. And then guys from different genres. L.D. Meola was a big one early on as well. Alex.
Wow. And
that's how I
gotta say, Paul, before I let you go, another thing I really think that's kind of when you listen to people, you try to think who they sound like. And I can say, like, having heard the whole debut album, the unique thing about your vocals is a little bit of it. Like I said, I hear a lot of people, I think, hear AC/DC influence there, but what's very unique to me about your vocal sound is it's quite unique. You got your own unique sound. I can't sit here and say, oh, he's trying to sound like Brian Johnson or whatever. No, you got your own unique sound, and I think that's what's working for this band is you can't really try to say, oh, he's trying to sound like this guy. You're just doing your thing, and it's coming out natural.
Yeah, that's kind of the only way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've sung in lots of cover bands and fronted where we were doing all different styles of music, and but then when it comes to singing my own songs, there's just sort of that one yeah. It's just,
that one sound, that Paul Lidel sound, and there's nothing at all wrong with that because like you said, a lot of people get their start, in the music industry doing, playing in cover bands or playing in tribute bands, and a tribute band scene, I'll tell you, out here in LA, where I'm from, is still huge today. I mean, people may not realize this, but Michael Starr, aka Ralph Sanaz from Steel Panther, he got his start in the Atomic Punks, which is a tribute out here to Van Halen, and
sure.
He was, oddly enough, briefly in LA Guns, and before Steel Panther and all that, and he left LA Guns to go back to the Van Halen tribute, if you can believe that. So that's pretty cool too, because covers, when you're doing that, that's the soundtrack of our lives, Paul. The reason so many cover bands is people know all those songs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think it's pretty cool, for you, Paul, doing your own thing though, because let's be honest, that's where the money is. You write your own songs, do your own original music. So I can't wait to go and hear the entire new Scream Therapy album. Once it comes out, Paul, I'm going to get myself a copy, and I'd love to have you back so we can talk specifically about the songs if you're willing to do that.
Do that. Absolutely.
Okay, Paul Lidel, it's been a pleasure talking to you again, my friend. Good luck on the new album, and hope the new single goes up even more. So take care, my friend, and happy Halloween.
Thanks. You too, Jason. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.